Okay, 大家好. I'm going to speak English on this one. So, Akil has been joining a lot of the New York, they call it like New York Fight Club. He joined different clubs to spar. Right? So they have a lot of sparring activities. People gather from different style, different background, and they spar. And Akil, since for about a year and a half, he's been nonstop testing his structure. And it really amped up his all his years of training. He's been training for 6 years, and I think it's in the last year or a year and a half, like a lot of these validations starting to like push his structure that he has trained. So which also validate that the biomechanic training is essential, right? So which is the key point for this talk right here is that when constantly they will be in a clinching situation, right? So most of the clinching situation, what happens is that people are using their weight. They force their weight on people, and then they use their muscle to pull, right? Or use techniques. So whatever techniques they want to like get into people's arm and things like that. Because Akil was trained in traditional art, so he has something that most people don't have, is structure, right? So this is a good, simple example I want to show you guys is the difference between weight and also versus techniques or you know, all these different techniques. And what he's going to use is structure. Okay, so in Bajiquan, there's a movement called 横打. So if you do a 横打, okay, this is a horizontal strike. It's called 横打. Basically, it's a horizontal 劲, okay, that we train. Okay, if you guys never trained this, you can try to have a horizontal power that you try to get the person away, right? You can try it. It's not going to work because you weren't trained. Okay, this requires a lot of training on this. Basically, what you're training is your structure that you sink into the ground. Okay, so in a clinching situation like this, see if Akil is using his structure, if he's not using, all right, don't use your structure. Okay, you try to bring me to this side. Okay, so you try to do it, all right, harder. Okay, so I can resist him. So he's trying to pull my arm. I can resist. I sink and I push his shoulder here. Okay, so one more time. Now he's gonna sink his structure into that rear leg, and he's gonna execute this 横打. Okay, try it. I'm not acting. I swear to God. Okay, one more time. So if we're in, so you see that? That's a lot of strength. Okay, so for me, smaller, he can essentially toss me away. So that is structure versus non-structure. So, all right. So for me, I'm smaller, right? So in a clinching situation like this, if I'm executing the same thing to him, using my weight against his weight, so go resist it. So I'm trying to see, I'm already putting all my weight, trying to get him there, or I have to do something like this. But if I get my structure into the rear leg, okay, you're not acting. So that is an example of using structure in Bajiquan into this. Okay, so those who practice 形意拳 or some of the internal styles, they do emphasize this kind of structure connectivity. Even Southern Mantis, you know, a lot of the traditional art has this value to offer to modern combat scenes. So there are a lot of treasures in traditional martial art. Okay, look into them.